appreciate you. Today's topic, listeners, is motivation or discipline. Do they stand alone, or is it a combination of both that enable our success? Motivation or discipline? Why motivation? Why discipline? Do they work hand in hand, or do they stand alone? Do we need both in order to recognize our success? No. Quite frequently, I would be asked questions such as, how do you maintain your diet? How are you so focused on holistic health? Even questions such as, how do you maintain your sanity in these unpredictable times? And naturally, after responding, there would be an air of silence, which after the person would respond by saying, well, I need motivation as I am not as motivated as you are. Many times I do realize that when individuals would ask questions relating to diet, relating to health, relating to just about anything, if it sounds a little bit too far-fetched, if it sounds a little bit too much for them, meaning that they would have to come out of their comfort zone in order to do similar things to realize their own goal, the next thing would be, well, I am not as motivated as you are. Maybe that is true, because note that everything that we do in life is out of motivation, being motivated. Now, what is this motivation that I'm talking about? What is motivation? Simply, it is the ability to act in a particular way because of a particular reason, and that's my definition. You are motivated to be successful or to become successful because, let's say, your parents led a very poor life, and because of lack of education, you realize that your parents were not able to acquire success in life. Now, you are motivated to ensure that you acquire education needed towards realizing your success in life. You are motivated to quit smoking because probably you lost a friend to lung cancer. So you are motivated not to smoke because every time you see a cigarette or, the smoking device, it reminds you of your friend that you lost to cancer. You probably are motivated to enjoy life because you realize that time has no bounds. Someone said to me earlier this week that a day seems like 6 hours now. Time is just jetting away, right? So you are motivated to enjoy life because you realize time has no bounds. And by the time you acquire your wealth, you will be far up in age. You can't run as fast. You can't climb the mountains. You can't do the zip lines. You probably cannot drink the alcohol. And so you decide that, listen, I am motivated now because time will not allow me to do these things in the future, right? There are different types or different reasons. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, right? There are different reasons for your motivation. However, whatever it is in life that we do, you want to change your job, it's because of motivation. I'm not saying, do know that the motivation I'm talking about is not necessarily a motivation, because when you think of motivation, you're saying, okay, the positive side of it is that I want to acquire more wealth, and so I am going to further my education in order to get another job, or I'm big on entrepreneurship, so I'm going to expand my business, and in order to expand my business, I might need to do something in accounting or something that will enable this type of expansion. But in my view, the motivation is the motivation arises out of a negative situation. Now, the negative situation is that you realize that you're not able to do the things that you really want to do. And so in order to do the things that you really want to do, you have to change your attitude, your actions, your behavior, right? Now, you can agree that motivation is really the reason that causes us to react or change our behavior. Whatever it is, think about it deeply. Think about anything, whether it's something positive someone do or something negative, right? Think about it. Someone will say, well, then I'm this aggressive because I realize that when I'm too kind, when I'm too humble, people are always not appreciative, and so they treat my kindness for weakness, right? And so I decide to become aggressive because I realize that those persons who are aggressive seem to be the ones who make it in life, right? So even if you think of a negative situation, it's out of motivation. Yes, it's out of motivation, right? Now, there are different types of motivation, right? Yes, you can be motivated intrinsically, or you can be motivated. So if whether you're intrinsically motivated, that is really motivation from within, meaning you don't need anyone to tell you, to guide you or to tell you the reasons for changing your behavior. You know from within that you need to do certain things in order to change your behavior to reach your goal. So, or whether you're extrinsically motivated, that is no motivation that you get from the environment. So it could be because of that friend you lost, because of due to smoking, or someone who is always there trying to guide you, trying to inspire you, right? It is only the behavior that will initiate the change in your desire, right? So whether it's extrinsically or intrinsically, it is only your behavior that will initiate the change you desire. Now, listeners, once you understand this principle, the principle of motivation through behavior, change through behavior, then you will be able to evaluate your behavior toward the change. Now, when persons ask you the question, how do you maintain your health? How do you maintain your health? How are you so keen on health? How do you do it? I can't do it. How do you do it? Now, when you understand that motivation is really the precursor, so to speak, towards the behavior change, then you can further analyze the behavior, because now we're looking at some other things. So first, you are motivated to change the behavior. You're motivated to adjust the behavior because of some situation that leaves a bad memory, or some situation that is telling you that, listen, it happened to someone who did it this way. It makes no sense for you to do it this way, because the likelihood of it happening to you, if you do it the same way, is possible. So use this person's experience to guide your step, right? Or your steps. So once you understand that principle, you will understand that, why your behavior, or why the behavior is the way it is. And you will be at a better place to adjust accordingly toward that change that you so desire. I mean, all that we do in life, listeners, all that we do in life, it is because of motivation that influences our action. We do not just up and do things. There is always a reason for every single thing that we do in life. Now, the question is it just motivation, or what will maintain that behavior? What will maintain that change? Is it the same motivation? Why one person is able to achieve and maintain their success while another person struggles with maintaining the behavior change? Now, if motivation is just the behavior initiator, then what else is needed to maintain this change? Discipline. Discipline is what is needed. Discipline is that key factor that is going to enable and maintain the change. Now, when you hear the term discipline, the thought of following rules, adhering to regulations, being obedient, obeying authority, all those things come to mind. But distinguishing between motivation and discipline will require one to look at the behavior change and then know to evaluate the consistency of this behavior change. Now, what am I talking about? I might sound a little bit confusing. Now, after you have realized that there needs to be some behavior adjustment, you have been motivated to change your behavior in order to achieve your goal. Now, this change alone, standing by itself somewhere in a corner, will not enable the change. It needs some strength. Now, the strength that I'm talking about is that of consistency. How do you maintain consistency? Now, the consistency now is your hunger. You have to be hungry for the behavior change that you have now moved into, that you are now trying to implement. You have to be hungry for that change. This first thing. Now, if you're not as hungry for the change, know that the change will not be consistent. Or should I say, you will not be successful at whatever it is that you're doing. Now, along with that hunger, once you're hungry for this desire, for the end result, then it will also require you to be disciplined. So when you're disciplined, what it means is there is a term that says through hell or high water. But it does not matter the circumstances, you are going to stick by this behavior change and the requirements needed for this change. What do I mean? Let's go back to one of the questions that I shared with you that I was asked. How do you maintain your diet? Now, if you are hungry, and this hunger can be brought on because you now have a health condition. This hunger can be brought on because you realize that you are getting too fat, right? Too big. This hunger can be brought on because of many reasons, right? So let's say the hunger is brought on because you have a health condition, right? You have a health condition that can be fatal if you don't change your diet. So because of this condition, you're somewhat forced, right? You're somewhat forced to change your diet. And many times, you do have people who will fail, yes? Because we do need support and consistent support. But many times it depends on the driving force behind the behavior that enables the behavior to be consistent. So you have a medical condition and you have to change your diet. Now, in order to ensure that this medical condition is contained or is eliminated, you now have to be disciplined, meaning that you do not step outside of that diet that is prescribed for you. So it means that you will not binge, if binging is something that can be detrimental to the change. It means that you should not eat what you're not supposed to eat, because that might also be detrimental to the change. Whatever it is, it will require you to be disciplined. This discipline is If you are alone, your diet is being maintained. If you are socializing with friends, you're having a cookout, your diet is being maintained. I've gone to cookouts. Well, let's not say cookouts, but let's say I've been invited to dinner and I cook and I would take, some of what I cook, because just in case when I get to the place where I'm invited to, and if there isn't anything there for me to eat, I have something to eat and also to share. That's what you do when you're invited to dinner. Take something along and, you share, right? So if you are going to a function per se and you are socializing, the discipline is what is going to enable to turn a blind eye to the things that taste so nice, however, is detrimental to your health. So motivation is really the start of behavior change. Motivation is the initiator, as I said, but without discipline, you will fail, because there will be times when you're going to be tried. Let's say you're going to the gym, you're working out, or maybe in these days and time, you're not going to the gym, but you're working out at home. There are going to be days when you just don't want to get up out of the bed if it's a morning session, or you just don't want to work out if it's an evening session. You're feeling too tired to work out. But the discipline is a driving force that is going to give you that extra push to say, hey, remember, you are motivated to make this change. Let us be disciplined enough to go through the process. Now, the question that I asked when we return is why one person is able to achieve their success and maintain their success while another is not able to do so. When you look at when you look at the mitigating factors, you'll realize that one person is more disciplined toward the change, toward the vision, toward the mission in comparison to the next. And lack of discipline will only enable failure towards realizing your goals, your success. Now, when an individual would say, well, listen, you're so motivated, I'm not as motivated. Yes, you are motivated. You realize that you need a change. Something has motivated you to come to me to ask me that question. However, what you're lacking is discipline. So because we are focused on the wrong method, right? We are focused on the wrong method. We're not able to fix the issue. So the wrong method, we're focusing on that of motivation, because when you share your perspective, when you share your dreams, your aspiration, then someone would say, well, you're so motivated. I wish I was motivated like you are. Yes, you are. You are. But let us talk about your discipline. How disciplined are you? Will you get out in the rain and jog to ensure that you maintain your weight, because there is a goal that you have and you want to maintain that? Will you get up out of your bed at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning to ensure that you reach your business early, to start some things early, so that during the course of the day you can focus on other factors of the business, right? To what extent will you go? This is a discipline part I'm talking about. To what extent will you go to ensure the consistency of your behavior change? And that is the part that we need to focus on. So when you ask a question, how do I do this, or how is this done, how do you maintain this? It's not about motivation. It's more about being disciplined. And you see, as a people, and this is why we fail most times when we do, because as a people, we we find it hard to be disciplined unless there are consequences. So if consequences are aligned to the behavior that will further deteriorate your health or deteriorate your lifestyle, then the discipline will be more pronounced, so to speak. It is not so much our nature to be disciplined without consequences. That is why you have speeding tickets. That is why you have all these various consequences when rules and regulations are set, because we are not a people who believe that, who are able to be disciplined naturally without consequences, right? So, with that in mind, when we now evaluate our own progress in life, whether it is health related, whether it is wealth related, and do remember that your health is your wealth, yes? Now, when we evaluate our progress in life, do not focus so much on the motivation, focus more on the discipline. And if you can improve the discipline part of your action, do know that you are going to be successful in all that you do. But because we're focusing on the motivation, oh, I'm not motivated, oh, I'm not so motivated, oh, I need someone to motivate me. No, you can be motivated as much as possible. You can have a plethora of people motivating you, but you see, if you lack the discipline, it will never work. So let us focus now on the discipline aspect of how we approach our dreams and aspiration, and let us fix that part of it. Let us say to ourselves that, listen, I am going to stay true to this course, and staying true to this course means that I need to be ultimately disciplined towards, or disciplined in all aspects, right? In all aspects of this journey, right? And I am going to be cognizant of the fact that if I lose discipline, then I am going to fail. Already I am motivated. I am motivated to start, right? You are motivated to start. But if I start a car and leave it in park, it will never move, right? So we are now going to start the engine and make sure that we put the engine in drive, or, whatever it is. And we are going to stay true to the course. Staying true to the course now requires us to be disciplined and not motivated, because the initiation or the initial stage, the initial process requires motivation for us to start, and so we already start. However, the consistency and the development and the realization of our aspiration and our dreams requires us now to be disciplined. Go back to those questions that you might have asked, persons in previous time as it relates to their success. And now you will understand that it's not motivation, it is discipline.